Hello, welcome back to my videos, AfrigaZone. This is the channel of Winning Africa. Just want to give you a few updates about where we are today since the big announcement previously. We are well on course. And since I am in the United States here, based in the community in Chicago, we are in the winter time now, so things are a little bit slow. There are times that it is cold. There are times that it has snowed. So on and off, even though activity has been going on with the COVID-19 rising up in the United States with all the protocol, I believe that it has been part of the slowdown. In winter, even though we still go to work, we still do our groceries, off and on of the house, off and on from our works, and then off and on from churches and community funeral that our community loves so much here, and especially the African diaspora. We love to help, but things have slowed down, and then slowly you want to get people to the channel and get interviews of their expertise and of their experiences, and then of their life and of their stories, of their testimonies. I guarantee you it's going to be very awesome. It's going to be so awesome. So stay tuned for today's what is going to happen and what I'm going to say. See you right now. In this video, I wanted to share a little story of myself. That has been upon my heart for some time, and it's an experience, and it is also an experimental story. I don't know that, and I believe also that through this story, my own story, my self-story, maybe it might be struggle in our community, maybe it might be struggle for you or someone watching me. I want to be able to expose it and then be able to deal with it. As you all know, my name is Raphael. I'm an Ewe, that even my name, my vernacular name, from my tribe, from an Ewe language is Maoli. And I'm so excited to say this story. I'm not sharing this story to discredit the Ewe people, the Ewe, or my family, or anyone. I'm not making any disclaimer. This is something that I experienced, and then there has been I believe that there has been an experimental for me throughout my growth and my growth for knowledge, my growth for understanding, and my growth for wisdom. The thing is, I was born from two parents that are Ewe, and for many of you, you know that the Ewe community or the Ewe tribe have a very huge people on the land of West Africa. They are spread way up. I can say that they're from Nigeria down to Benin. The majority also are left behind, or are left on the land of Togo, and then all the way to Ghana, and then across the Volta region, even to the eastern region. I say that both of my parents are Ewe, but there is I can point out that there is a little distinction. There's a little distinction. Based on what I know right now, My mother, my mom, I can say that her line came from the Airways Togo line. Airways Togo line. And my father from Ghana Airways line. So, but my maternal grandfather, in the history, in the time past, way early, I mean in the 90s, the beginning 90s, because he passed away in the 90s, having 150 years old. So imagine. So in the 90s, when he was very young, despite that he was born in Togo, when we are talking about the demarcation of the borders, we know that also the history of colonization, the borders, after they trace the line and everything with the story of the Togo land, a lot of things are complicated, but I'm just going to say it the way it is, not making, not trying to decipher or separate anything and taking anything away from the story, but adding to the story, because that is very important that I share with my kids, I share with my children, you know, you guys knowing that I reside in the United States, and my children are born here. They are 15 and 13, and then the one who is 13 is going to be 14 soon, in a few months. So it is imperative that I share them this story so that they can understand, so that they can draw some lesson for it, because we do have the same experience here with other people also. So we are no different. We are no different of such challenges and then or such particularities in our people, anyways. So, as I say, that my mother is from the Togo line, away, and my father is from the Ghanaian line or Ghana line, away. As my maternal grandfather, early in the 90s, you know, so he traveled to Koforidor. So when he traveled to Koforidor as a young man, looking for green pastures, my parents, my mom was born in Koforidor. So, and with that also, we are born in Koforidor as Ewe. My father is from the Keita line, the Anglon. You know, when we say that the real Anglon from the Keita, you know, so it happens that I was, me, myself, and my brothers, we were the product of that. But let us retain the base that even though my mother was born in Koforidor from an Ewe father, which is my maternal Ewe line, but my maternal grandfather is directly from Togo. But my paternal grandfather family of my father is Ghanaian. So being little, being still a toddler, I believe that in the 1980s, you know, I was still in toddler. I would not really say the age that I was. With my siblings, my maternal grandfather decided to move back to Togo, to also his parent home, his father's and mother's home. So what happened is that my mother also has followed him. You know that in our Ewe culture, there's this strong sense of family, the needs, they need together. So, with that being said, myself and my sibling also were taken to Togo. Imagine, I was a toddler. So it was a shift, even though we still speak Ewe, it was a shift of a little bit of culture when it comes to the country, based on the country. So, meaning that to deepen that a little bit, meaning that in Ghana, even though you are away, the systems, the other language that you are going to be educated in, you are going to be formed in, you are going to train in, is English, while Togo is French. Now, we moved back to Togo in 1980s, where I was a toddler. I was the youngest son, and then from there, we grew up. We went to school, elementary school, my siblings also, but my eldest sibling, because he has already grown up to the stage where I believe that he was in the 6th grade, or what we call the class 6. So he came, but he was back in Ghana to continue the education, because that will be much more, that will help him much more. So, but myself and the brother that I come after, my older brother, since I'm the youngest, we stay back with my mom, and then what we do there, we went back to the French education, even though we are in Ewe. And during the vacations, in July and August, we will come to Ghana. We will come to our father's home, we will spend time, Ghana has been like 2 homes for us. Now, the crux of the story, my own story, is that now I'm coming, because I have to give you a little background in order to understand from where I come from and where I'm going, while I'm sharing the story, this vivid story to you. Now, anytime that we left Togo, let me say I, because when we go to vacation in July and August every year, mostly in Africa, in West Africa, that time, there's no school. We break. That's the big break, the holidays or the vacation. We call it the vacation. So I will come to my father, visit my father to spend time with the family. So we will leave Togo. I will leave Togo and go to Ghana. While we are mingling, while we are growing and everything, with my Airways, Ghanaian family, my Airways was not the same. The resemblance or the tone, the tonation, the way he was speaking in Togo, that there has been in exodus, from the Airways all the way down from Nigeria to Benin to Mochen and Chevy, all the way down to the Keita area, around all this Togoland, and then all the way down to the whole and the whole Volta region. There's the pronunciation, the tone, the phonation, a lot of things, are not practically the same. They are not straightforward. They change. They have some changes. It depends of where you are, the location and everything. Even though when you are away, you can understand everything. You understand. There's no, you know what they are talking about. So, anytime that I go from Lome, because that's where I live, and then I came as a toddler. So automatically, I started learning French in elementary school. We do French. Togo is a French-speaking country, and when I go, my phonation, my tone has been a laughter. They laughed, they laughed at me, anytime that I say something, being young. But what I really perceive from that, sometimes I felt like, I don't know, that it's something that I should have known. I just don't know how to really put it together, but I felt like it was a bully. was a bully, and they would laugh at me. I would say things, you know, because the people that I meet on a daily basis going to elementary school, everybody speak, you know, what we call the Togo Ewe or the Mina. So they will laugh at me, my siblings, my siblings, my cousins, and then, you know, everyone. And really, sometimes it was difficult to communicate. That's when I leave Togo and I go to Ghana. And then when I come back from the vacation, sometimes we spend both 2 months, 2 months in Ghana, in the Volta region, and then sometimes we travel all the way down to Koforidua because of Koforidua. Our presence, my family presence, my maternal, my maternal side, you know, my maternal side. Like when I say that my uncle, everything that have been born over there, like my mom herself, they stay there. So we become a big family. We will travel to Koforidua, we travel to the whole area, the Ave area, because our village here is on the way going to Ho, you know. So when I come back to Togo, also my maternal side, you know, that I'm mingle with on a daily basis in Togo, in Lomé, we are referred to people who are from Ghana. Isn't it funny? We are referred to as people who are from Ghana, or people who are from Ghana, you know. So, and when there are some kind of like family dispute, you know, that children fight. We were in elementary school, children fight among themselves, you know, as school age people or growing up into being teenage and then into adolescence. Anytime that something happen, you know, in Togo, the family will refer as Ghanaian or something like that. So throughout my I can say that school age and teenage years to adolescence, you feel like you are in the middle, despite that it is not your fault, despite that it's not my fault. So I always felt that I am always in between. I always felt that I was always in between. And then also during my teenage years, you know, in the secondary school, you know, you attach, there's some attachment with when you are growing up with some of the girl in the community, yeah, in Lomé, and the parent of you know, the girl will say that, oh, you are from Ghana, they are Ghanaian, they are Ghanaian. It's this kind of like stigma, you know. In those times, the perception of people, the perception of the mentality of people, you don't really understand. Growing up, it has been a challenge. And today, across the people's story, like a half caste, someone who is blended between a white and then a white parent and then a black parent, African parent and a European parent, something like that, you know. You ask them and then they tell their story. I relate myself to them based on what I also lived. So this to say that we as African, we as black people, we must relate ourselves first as an African in order to relate ourselves down to where we come from based on the countries and then based on the tribes. Even though tradition and culture and, you know, people, where we come from is very important in our history, we should really, really, really pay attention to those things. One of the other reasons why I'm sharing this story is that I end up marrying an Ewe also. My wife is an Ewe, and then from Ghana side, and we have 2 children. We have 2 sons, as I said from the beginning, and I had to be able to blend the 2 cultures. They are born here in the state, in the United States of America, and sometimes there is a struggle. You know, this is an Ewe home, this is an African home, but they are born here. On a daily basis, they go and they spend more time, you know, on a daily basis. They spend more time in school with the community, American community, than us. And they are blended with this community. And when they come home, we try to inculcate also at the same time our culture and our tradition, certain tradition in terms of behavior and everything. And then sometimes there's clash. So how do we survive that as a community? How do we survive that as a people? How do we survive that as an African? So this is my little story, my self-story that I wanted to share with you, and then bring the discussion about it in our community, among our people, our Ewe community and our people. And you may be an Igbo, you may be an Ekan, you may be an Ashanti, you may be a Gan, you may be, you know, from the northern part of Togo, you know, Kableo or Kutokoli or something like that. Have you ever experienced something like that? If you do, kindly share with me. So I will stop here and make sure that you subscribe to my channel for the continuation of this story. I bring it up not to make a disclaimer, not to discredit any tribe, don't discredit any people. I'm Ewe 100%. I'm an educated, I'm a nurse here with degree here in the United States. I'm a professional nurse, so I understand how humanity play part in such things, but how do we survive that moving forward? So if you have not subscribed to my channel, this is the time to do it. There's going to be wonderful. We are on course getting into the goal that we are prepared for the channel. Subscribe to my channel, share this story, and be part of the conversation. Thank you. It's Mauli again. Mauli Raphael speaking to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Ciao.